Hello. This is a video that I thought to create to share some experiences I gained last year when I decided to set goals. And if you have not set goals for the next year, which is year 2025, then you are late because we are in the middle of November and December will be here soon. And then by the time we realize we're in the new year, one of the ways to achieve or to be successful at setting goals for the new year is to actually set it in the year before we enter the 2025. So we having just 6 to 7 weeks into the new year. This is a time to set, reflect on the past year, and then look into your capabilities to see what goals you would want to achieve in the new year. So, for example, myself, last year, I decided that I was not going to run 2024 like any other year that I used to have. People have been talking about setting goals and all, so why don't I give it a try? And I decided not to just set it in my head like other years. Like I said, I decided that I was going to have a different 2024. And so far, it worked really well for me. And that's why I thought to share with people, with you people, my friends. It may work for you as well. So I took out a book randomly. I just took out a book and then decided, okay, what do you want for 2024? How do you want 2024 to go? And then I wrote down specifically what I wanted. So let's say wanting more money in 2024 was one of my goals. So I wrote it down. So I'm going to use that particular goal as a blueprint to guide anyone that wants to set goals or anyone that wants to follow the process that I followed. So me taking out the book and I'm writing, okay, I want more money in 2024. All right. How much money do you want? Okay, then that question became very big for me. I was like, oh, okay, how am I going to answer this? I broke down the year into months as we had it. So I wrote down January, I want this money in January, I want this money in February, I want this money in March up till December. And then in setting the goals, I also looked at my capabilities to see I know what I could achieve by my own capabilities. And then I also knew how far I could stretch. So aside writing what I wanted, I also was able to attach tasks to myself. I put pressure on myself to push me to achieve the goals. Because if it was other years, okay, I mean, you want money or you want whatever, then it is it. You are just there expecting it. But for each month that I put so amount of money, I knew I could get to, I knew my current abilities could get me to a certain amount, but I also knew, I recognized that if I stretch myself or when I push myself or gathered certain resources, I could get to some other amount. So I was like, okay, this amount is achievable. I'm going to get this amount in January. So I put down that amount, knowing very well that I didn't have it at that point, but I could if I pushed myself. And that's one of the things about that's one of the good things about writing down your goals. When you write it down, and then when you are able to break down the goals, then it kind of you give yourself work. Now you have to do the work to achieve it. I broke them down into months. So let's say in the month I wanted to get $4,000 as a goal. $4,000 in a month. I also broke it down to weekly. So 4 weeks in a month. Week one, I'm supposed to work to get $1,000, and so that's how I broke it down. And if my capabilities couldn't reach that, I now sat down to ask myself, how can I reach $1,000 a week? And that also gave me additional work. Okay, then you need to start a business. If you have to start a business, then you'd have to start a business. If you already have a business and you need to get more customers, then now the work now comes back to you. You need to get more customers. Okay, getting more customers. How do you get more customers? Now the work comes now back to you. You need to do so and so to get more customers. All right. When you get the customers, how are you going to translate those customers into revenue? The work now comes back to you again. So with all that, I was writing them, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is what I'm supposed to be. So I lived out 2024, not in vague, but I lived it out with a purpose, with something to achieve. I'm supposed to start a business. I'm supposed to get more customers for my business. I'm supposed to increase my revenue. I'm supposed to pull my customers in to become revenue points for the business. And then in turn, now achieve that goal that I initially wrote. So, like writing down the goal for the year, I want this, I want more money in 2024. That is big. Now breaking them down into monthly targets and then also subsequently breaking them down into weekly targets. That gives you the opportunity to task yourself and then also tap into your inner capabilities to say that this is what I can achieve and this is what I'm going to write down. After writing out what you can achieve and recognizing that, you are able to also know that, okay, if I pull this resource or if I pull this string, if I pull this resource, if I go here, if I go to the bank for a loan, or if I ask a friend for business advice, or if I ask someone for help, this is how much that is also going to generate for me. Then at the end of the day, you see that the goals are being met gradually, gradually, gradually. So you end up having a fulfilled year, not just any year that comes and goes by, but a year that was purposely lived and a year that you have something to show for. This is what I was able to achieve in a year. Honestly, me setting those goals in 2024, writing them down was very important. People always say, write them down, just like it said in the Bible. Make it plain, write it down, make it plain. Yes, that was also very important. That helped me a lot because I could always go back to the goal and refer. I could always go back to the goal and refer. I could always um, refresh the goals. When you start the year, if you realize that probably the amount should have been bigger or lower, you're able to go and adjust and then see how best you can move on with your achievements. And another thing that I also did, writing out my goals and breaking them down into weeks, whatever task that there was that I needed to achieve, I went back after the week, I went back to write against the goal what I was able to achieve. So I was able to measure myself, I was able to measure my performance to say that I was supposed to achieve $1,000 a week, but last week I only got 9,500. Okay, so then there is a 500 deficit. All right, so how do I improve next week? I go back to the drawing board to see where I lagged or where I slacked, and then see where I could do better in the following week. And when I realized that maybe my goal was overstretched and was not attainable as it is, as we put it in the SMART, the goals must be specific, the goals must be measurable, they must be attainable. So when I realized that they are somehow a bit too high and not attainable, I adjusted. Because there is, as we can only go to a point, we can only go as far as a point, and we can only pull certain strings as far as a point. And when we add prayer, God can do immeasurably more than we can imagine. So yeah, definitely we add prayer to it. And then God will also add his miraculous touch to our goals. So, yeah, that's something that I wanted to share with friends because, I mean, let's not live year in, year out the same. Let's have something to show for the year. In this coming year, I've already written down 3 goals. Like I told you, by now you should start setting your goals for 2025. I've already written down 3 goals. Um, Definitely tackling spiritual side, tackling physical side, and then tackling business side. I'm going to share that also with you, friends, and then maybe also give you a breakdown of how I'm going about it, and then we can go. So I hope this video blesses somebody. I hope this video motivates somebody to get up and want to do something for themselves. I'm not saying you're not going to do anything in 2025, but setting goals and writing them down, breaking them down, puts some kind of a pressure on yourself. It's like you are tasking yourself to achieve something, and because you are tasking yourself, you're able to push yourself to achieve it because it is written down, and every time you're gonna see it somewhere. And because I only had a book and I read it, but definitely it's something that you're gonna see. You're able to refer to, you know. Um, so yeah, I hope it blesses you. And if it does, you can like the video or comment or subscribe to the channel. It will help. You can also share to some of your friends. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.